Hello everyone and welcome back to the half marathon training series. This is the beginning of week 3. If you haven't seen the videos on the channel, they should be up there. Week 1 and week 2 is already there, and I'm also making a short video for every single run that I do as part of the plan. So all that should be up there already. It's not edited at the time of recording this intro, but I'm setting myself the hard deadline to get everything up to speed by the end of the working week. Today is Monday the 19th of January and it is the start of the third week of the half marathon training plan out of 12 or 13 weeks roughly, give or take. And we've got a little bit of catching up to do this week. Now, if you haven't seen last week's episode or week's training, a little bit of a spoiler. I mean, check it out if you want. It's good fun. I'm sure it's going to be fun. I think it's fun, biased albeit. I had to cut my overall training in half. I wasn't feeling too great last week in terms, I mean, I think, and I'm fairly sure at this point, that I had / still have the tail end of a chest infection. My coughing was kind of out of control a little bit. I was a bit wheezy. My 8 kilometre run that I'd done midweek was way tougher than it should have been. I mean, 8 kilometres is still quite a big distance, and it's, no, I'm not saying it's easy, but it was way harder than I anticipated it to be. To the point where, you know, I was working away over the weekend. I was in Manchester and I planned to do the second run on Sunday, and I just couldn't. I couldn't face it. I couldn't, my body just couldn't, you know, I knew that I wouldn't be able to keep up. So that's fine. You know, the beauty of the Runit app is that you can move things about where you want. It's kind of like an Outlook calendar, which is nice. I'm not sponsored by Runit in any way. I would love to be at some point, but in case you think I'm selling it too hard, but you literally look at the calendar and you shift things about as and when you want. So I made the decision on Sunday to move my second week 2 run into week 3, and that would increase my my running from 2 to 3 in week 3, which is this week. So we're going to see 3 runs this week. Let me just share my screen 1 second, or start recording the screen. Should be live now. Right, so if we look at week 3, I've moved my 1 kilometre repeats from last week to today. I've not done it yet as of recording. It is currently 3 PM. I've still got a bit of work to do. So I'm going to try and squeeze that in between my working day and picking up my daughter from nursery. But we're hopefully going to do the 1 kilometre repeats at some point today. I know I touched upon it last week because I thought I was going to do it, but for a little light refresher, that is a 2 kilometre start at conversational pace, no faster than 6 minutes 40, which is way slower than I have been going recently, and it's something that I need to learn to do, the overall theme of this training. A little bit of a walking rest, and then I do 1 kilometre at roughly 5.5 per kilometre, 90-second walking, and then repeat that for 3 times. So we do 3 kilometres pretty much all in with the rest in between at a very fast pace compared to the rest. And then the cool down is a 1.5 kilometre back at conversational pace or slower. It's the conversational pace part that I'm really struggling with, to the point where I think I might just go to the treadmill, to be honest, because it gives you the actual speeds that you can set it to. I think I might do that, to be honest, today, just to kind of see what we're doing. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'll wait and see, because I do like running outside, but maybe we'll do the treadmill today, and we'll see if we can just kind of catch up, although it's a bit boring for a short video. I'll make that decision very soon. So that's fine, that's moved from week 2 to week 3. Then the long run this week is a 9 kilometre hilly progressive long run. So as you can see here, 2 kilometre at conversational pace, then 2 kilometres at 6.25, 2 at 6.15, 2 at 6, and then 1 kilometre back at conversational pace. All up, based on what I run at, which again isn't really at my level yet, that's way slower across the board than what I would normally do. That's on average going to take me 55 minutes to an hour. I think I run on average about just under 6 kilometres an hour, roughly, give or take, or 6 minutes a kilometre, sorry, not 6 an hour. I need to get my terminology right. We'll figure that out as and when it comes. Again, I'm trying to learn how to run slower. It's every part and every fibre of my body is telling me to run faster, beat your last pace, beat your last kilometre, beat your last run. I know that's not a healthy mindset. I know it's not healthy for the body either when you're training. I'm learning, I'm living, all that good stuff. And then the third run, which should be on Friday, you know, subject to change, is over-unders 1 kilometre. Now, I've not actually looked at this yet. Tempo run, 8 kilometres all in, which is quite a lot. So we do 1 kilometre at conversational pace, no faster than 6.35. Then for 3 cycles, I do 1 kilometre at 6, then 1 kilometre at 5.45, 6, 5.45, 6, 5.45, a 90-second walking rest, and then finally cool down that with a 1 kilometre conversational pace as well. I think this is going to be the toughest run that I've done so far, specifically the repeating part. You know, that is, you know, 6 kilometres back to back, or all up, sorry. I know that's what I should be doing this anyway, and this is part of the plan. But yeah, I feel like that's going to be that's going to be the toughest run this week. It is quite good that it gives you the treadmill option as well. I think I quite like that. We'll wait and see what we do. But anyway, that is the 3 runs this week. The 1 kilometre repeats today, the 9 kilometre progressively long run on Wednesday, and the over under 1 kilometre for the 8 kilometre total run on Friday. So that's where we are. Again, last week was a little bit of a write-off. If you want to check that out, you can. That's already on the channel. I'm recording all of this now on my Osmo and my DJI sort of mic kit combo. I'm still learning how to use all those bits and pieces. I use this for the podcast, and I've used it, sporadically over the past couple of weeks. But this is me full-time, full sort of pedal to the metal use of this camera. I don't know if that's the right terminology for it. I'm a bit all over the place, if you cannot tell. But anyway, point is, welcome to week 3. We have got our plan set out. You're going to see those runs in full on the channel, and I'm also going to take you out through the week that I have the past couple of weeks as well. Week 3, we're still early stages, early doors of this training plan, but we are getting there. I'm feeling good. I'm still feeling confident overall, and I can't wait just to continue with this training. But yeah, week 3 has commenced, and run 1 will hopefully be within the next hour and a bit, I'd like to think, but we'll see. Anyway, week 3 started. It is Wednesday the 21st. I've not done any of my run yet because I wanted to take an extra few days just to make sure that I was feeling as well as I possibly could. And I just had a very busy work week so far. But we're starting week 3 with a bang, with the follow-up or the leftovers from week 2. And that is with the 1 kilometre repeats. So the warm-up is going to be a 2 kilometre at a conversational pace. Then we do a very short 90-second walking rest. Following that, for 3 repeats, we do 1 kilometre at roughly 5:35 minutes a kilometre, then a 90-second rest, and then repeat for 3 times. And then the cool down is going to be a 1.5 kilometre back at a conversational pace. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to go out just now. I'm feeling better. Again, I don't quite feel that I'm 100%, but I feel well enough that I can do a run, which is nice. And I've kind of shifted everything by 2 days. So originally it was going to be Monday, Wednesday and Friday for the runs this week. Now it's Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, which means at the start of week 4's long run will probably be pushed by a day or 2, but since we'll be back down to 2 runs per week at that point, it should kind of balance itself out, which is nice. But anyway, 1 kilometre repeats coming up, looking forward to it. I need to do a bit of stretching first, and then I'm going to run for my lunch. So I'm going to end where I want to pick up something to eat. But anyway, 1 kilometre repeats, run 1 of week 3 coming up. I've also kind of caught up in quite a lot of content so far, which is nice. So all the runs that I've done short form wise are on the channel, and week 1 recap is on the channel as well. Week 2 should come out tonight or tomorrow at the time of recording this, but it should be out by the time you're watching. Doesn't matter. I'm trying to say I've caught up and I'm back in a nice cadence, which is good. But run 1 coming up. Run number 1 of week 3 done. That is the 1 kilometre repeats finished. And according to Strava and or Runner or whatever it is, I done it in roughly 36:27. It'll be up here somewhere, or whatever, it'll be along the bottom, I'm not too sure. I meant to record this little clip on the walk home after the run, but it was good. It was tough, but I really, really enjoyed it. Again, overall, I went a bit too fast, which is to be expected, but even though I went fast, I was consistent at that faster pace, which is the main thing. So yeah, overall, thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's technically all the week 2 runs done. I've got 2 more runs this week. I've got a 9 kilometre on Friday, and then my other hard run on Sunday, which I forget off the top of my head. Picked up some lunch on the way home, got a Jimmy's iced coffee with protein in it. Absolute elite god tier iced coffee. Not sponsored, but Jimmy, if you want to sponsor me, I'm all ears, because your coffee is fantastic. Unless you're a bad person, then I'm not interested, but I don't know anything about you, so you never be too careful these days. I'm going to assume you are wonderful, like your coffee. Anyway, feeling pretty good, feeling pretty happy. It was absolutely teeming down outside, so I got completely drenched. I'm not sure if it's rain and or sweat. A bus drove through a puddle over me, but it was all part of the running fun life culture, which is nice. But yeah, overall, I'm feeling it pretty good. I'm feeling pretty satisfied. I'm definitely on the mend. I'm not quite on 100%. I would say about 97, 98%. I can still feel a teeny bit here. But after I'd done my 8k run the other day, I was pretty fucked. I was pretty wiped, but that run I feel pretty good about. One thing that I mentioned in the short form that I'm still debating about, and if you know, let me know down below, but part of the runs is like you run for this amount and you have like a 90-second rest or whatever it is. I previously, up until that run there, used to just let the clock run, i.e. on Strava, on Apple Workouts, all that sort of thing.
But for that run, I decided to pause for the 90 seconds and then restart. So I've got my overall running time and then my overall elapsed time. And my thought process was, at least that way I can see the actual splits for the run, because if I walk for 90 seconds, that's going to be however, 150 metres or whatever it is, so then the splits are going to be all off. My justification was, if I pause it on the kilometre and then restart it again, clean on the kilometre, then I'll know if I'm within pace and that sort of thing as well. So I don't know if that's the right thing to do. It kind of makes sense mathematically in my head, but if it's better to just let everything run and mount up and then work out an average, then I don't really know what's better. So if you are familiar with the process, let me know your recommendations, because I would really, really like to know. I'm going to do some research as well, but yeah, anyway, run 1 done. Feeling good, feeling wet, feeling motivated, which is nice. And then we've got the 9 kilometre on Friday, which I'll do a little clip before and after as well. And again, all the runs will be on as short forms on the channel. So if you want to see the actual details of the run when I'm doing them, then check those out. Those will be up before each weekly video is out. But anyway, run 1 done. Very quick one from me, I'm going to interject here. It is Friday the 23rd, and today was supposed to be run number 2, being the 9 kilometre progressive run, but I had a very last minute unexpected work thing that I had to go into the office for, and then I had to go on a shoot for, and then just other things got in the way, so I'm pushing it to tomorrow, and then I'll see if I can fit in the third run on Sunday, which was always scheduled in for Sunday, but 2 back-to-back might be quite a lot. If that is the case, I'll push it to Monday, and then week 4 will have 3 runs instead of 2. But still going to go on the run in the morning. I want to do the 9 kilometre. I was up for it. It's just a bit too late at this point. I've got other things going on that I need to attend to that need my attention, which is fine. But yeah, quick one. Run has been postponed by a day, which has potentially had a knock-on effect. But you'll see the run in the next clip, and we'll go from there. Saturday, the 24th, and I'm heading out for my 9 kilometre. I've plotted a route that doesn't involve laps, which should hopefully keep things a bit fresh and a bit more exciting, and we'll see how we get on. I have got 1 gel with me because 9 kilometres is still quite long to me, so we'll see how we get on, and I'll check in at the end. Run finished. I think my my overall time was 52 minutes and 56 seconds, which, even though the pacing was all over the place in the grand scheme of things, if I would have continued at the pace at the end when I kind of found my stride, that would have been a sub 1 hour 10k, and potentially my quickest 10k yet. So taking that as a huge positive, but lots of work to do in terms of pacing. I came out the gate far too fast, honestly. I ran those first 2 kilometres super quick, and it was a bit of a detriment to me. Had to slow down quite considerably in the middle, but then I found my stride towards the end, which was good. I also never fueled properly. I never ate properly last night, and I never really ate properly this morning. I was just too eager to get going, I think. So yeah, overall, harder than I thought. It's still progress, Week 3, run 2 is done. I'm going to wait and see how I feel in the morning before I commit to the third run this week, but I've got a very strong feeling that I'm going to push it into next week. So week 4, we'll have 3 runs instead of week 3. And then we should be back to a regular cadence towards the end of next week, which is fine. But again, overall, I've done a 9k. I've done it in potentially the fastest time that I've ever ran a 9k, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. So I'll check in with you tomorrow about whether I do my run or not. But overall, happy. So it is the end of week 3, and like I predicted, I moved my final run of week 3 into week 4 just because I was too tired. I had too much on. I can't remember what I said now, but I think it was going to be a little bit too much because yeah, I done the 9 kilometre on Saturday, which I loved. I thought it was great, and I felt really comfortable about that, which was good. But yeah, I just thought it was a little bit too much to do the over under 1 kilometres for 8 kilometres all in on the Sunday. So I've pushed that to week 4, but I've already had a bit of an epiphany. My week 4 is looking a bit tight. At the start of the week at least anyway, Monday, Tuesday and probably Wednesday are a bit tight, so I might not actually get kicking off until Wednesday or Thursday. So it's 3 runs next week, which is going to be the over-unders 1k, a 6 kilometre run, and then on and off Ks for 5.5 as well. So I think week 4 was designed to be a bit of a slower week, so you've had a bit of an intense 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is a bit more of a relaxed pace before it really drums up into week 5 onwards into more progressively longer and longer runs. So it's actually not too bad, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm actually recording this on Monday, so it's technically the start of week 4, and I know I've not done my leftover run from last week, so We'll see how that goes, but you'll also see that again in the week 4 vlog when that comes out. But anyway, thank you for watching. Again, if you want to see all the runs that I've done, short form is already up on the channel. I'm actually up to date with my short form, which is fantastic. And then this will go out, over the next day or two, and then I'll be all up to date in regards to content, which is wonderful and fantastic. Some people, in fact, everyone so far has been really nice and really lovely in the comments and been really inquisitive and supportive and giving me advice, which is great. So yeah, if you're getting more advice for a amateur runner who's just looking to run his first half, then do let me know, because I'm very curious to see what experienced runners have to share about their first sort of big, progressively long runs, etc. as well. But again, end of week 3, thank you for watching. If you're new, you're more than welcome to subscribe, all that good stuff. You can drop a like, follow me on all my socials. Again, I put my short runs or the runs as short form content on YouTube and TikTok, but I also run them, upload them in real time to Instagram, etc. as well. So feel free to follow me if you wish, or not, it's entirely up to you. But yeah, my name is Sam, thank you for watching me or following my journey thus far. We are at the end of week 3, bring on week 4, and I'm really looking forward to it. Here we go.